Hello. When I broke down Rico Verhoeven touching up Ismael Lazaar, a lot of people insulted Lazaar, calling him a can based upon his appearance. After all, if Ismael looks like this and Rico Verhoeven looks like this, obviously by virtue of his aesthetic, purely his looks, Verhoeven will win, right? This bothered me not because I look anything like Ismael, but because it conflicts with an understanding I've shared many times. Aristotle, it is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. The true nature of an education is a developed capacity to think towards the truth, to be able to entertain ideas that conflict with the mainstream narratives and hope you can see a nuance that might also still be true, because in truth, life is full of nuances. Every truth is but a half-truth. That said, just because Ismael Lazaar is of shorter stature and does not look like a Dragon Ball Z character, it does not mean he is a can. Of course, his decision loss to Verhoeven may be partially predicated upon his physical attributes, his physical ability, but that's just part of the equation. If it wasn't, bodybuilders would be rampaging the arena, which, quite frankly, is not the case. Instead, you see a figure the Greeks would marvel at, Anthony Joshua Falcon Cust to Andy Ruiz. Manny Pacquiao does not have a dad bod, but his stature has never held him back. Instead, he has leveraged his advantage uniquely. Ismael Lazaar himself, watch him spark men who look more chiseled than Rico Verhoeven. Quite honestly, there's so many factors contributing to each individual that to merely brush it off as this man is a can because of the way he looks, that does not nearly encompass either athlete, which discredits both equally. Quite frankly, you're cheapening Verhoeven's victory as well. Physical ability is very important, size is important, but so is skill, fight IQ, as Samar Pai Karuna Dominic Cruz would indicate. Sometimes it has little to do with your athletic ability. You can have an awe-inspiring reign by virtue of just being smarter, more clever. You can find a way to trump the current competition with your own individual game. But no man can fully encompass an individual. It's hard even for the person walking in those shoes to do so. After all, the physics, the cause and effect relationships that go into each person can be stretched into infinity, to which our human mind appears limited. As vast as it is to understand the universe, the individual is the same. With that said, I know why we use a broad brush to answer a problem. After all, it's easier, it saves us time. If we were to take Aristotle's first principles to everything, we would have no time left for anything important. But to each unique athlete, individual, there are infinite justifications for success and failure. Rarely do those minimalist answers do them justice. Often, we find there is much more to the equation. The way we navigate life, I believe, should be simple, but to understand life, that is a completely different approach. After all, from a speck of dust to the cosmos itself, your inquiry ventures off into the realm of infinity. All we punny humans can do is inch closer and closer eternally. Simply, like a ruler, do our best to come as infinitely close as possible, knowing we'll always be just a little bit off. With that said, in regards to Ismael Lazaar, he may be on the chubbier side, but he's definitely dangerous. You can't sleep on him, because to the man who does, he might actually end up sleeping. With all of this said, each individual has their own strengths and weaknesses, and our goal is to figure them out. In doing so, we may better play our game while doing what we can to avoid in others. This is a core component to the game of life beyond martial arts. Self-awareness, which in turn, through relativity, allows us to better understand another. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. But if you know the enemy and you know yourself. You need not fear the result of 100 battles. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. When you understand this, you realize that it is not about Lazaar. Beyond that, you should not underestimate yourself. That's what we can all learn from this. Because if by chance you are, I can more lucidly say, you just haven't figured out your game yet. If you like more from me, please subscribe and hit the notifications. Thank you if you did. It truly does mean a lot to me. Thank you. Smash the button if you enjoyed. It's good karma, and until next time, peace.